What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Best Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Russler. This week, I'm sitting down with Jack Wright.
Arkansas, we're responsible for Walmart. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. I go in there just to feel at home now. I went in there the other day, I saw a dude on a rascal scooter looking at crossbows. I was like, amen, brother. Yeah, 100%. Rascal scooter with a crossbow, that's the Arkansas Avengers, guys. That's awesome. That's not Hawkeye, that's Hickeye, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a comedian based out of St. Louis. He runs the Westport Boulder Dash at the Westport Funny Bone, and he also co-hosts an open mic at Stan's Bar on Tuesday nights. We talked about World War II, movies, football, all kinds of fun stuff. It was a good episode, so enjoy. That's exactly where it's gonna fade in.
Yeah. Just fucking, all right, we're done talking shit about people who might hear this. Let's start. Let's get in the zone.
That is a great intro to this. Just and low.
Let's talk about our favorite pizza.
Yeah, what's the best toppings? I'll tell you who else. So what's up, man? First off, since we know we just started, you plug any dates in your social media real quick while I pull up the question?
Yeah, I got the Westport Boulder Dash. That's my showcase that I run at the St. Louis Funny Bone in Westport. That's March 20th. It's a Wednesday. Great lineup. Got a lot of funny people on that show. And you can get in for free with promo code JWFunny on the website. So go ahead and do that. I started up a new Instagram for comedy because my old one I've just had since middle school, and I followed too many people like during COVID.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Like I'm like, oh man, SLU's volleyball team needs support. I guess I'm gonna be such a supporter of girls college volleyball now, and also a girl who rides a skateboard.
You've crossed that threshold into where it's like kind of creepy now.
It's creepy. It's not good.
You can't have girls collegiate sports in your algorithm. As a grown man, there's a cap on that. Like if you're currently going to college and it's your college team, you can follow those players.
Yeah.
But after mid-20s, you gotta
see. I was in school at the
time. Too young for you.
I was in school at the time. I'm 22 now, so I'm still like barely in the cutoff. But either way, I'm a loyal man. You know, I don't need titties on my algorithm because I'm just out at the bar with my girlfriend, and then that's what scrolls up.
Wait till you have kids. You get sent too many dirty things, you know, and that's your algorithm, and you can go through and click. You know, you hold it down, and then it pops up like block, unfollow, whatever, and then you can click not interested because like on the For You page, you'll be like, oh, not interested. You do that, you know, all day long. Within a week, it's all back because it tracks your eyes, and you're like, I get.
Instagram's like, I know you jerked off. I know you're not the same.
It's like, how can I get away from it? It's never. I feel like it's the first time in history that every day, like women are literally throwing themselves at every man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like it's making lazier humans.
Well, for sure. I mean, we have a lot of instant gratification, as Sir Andrew Tate would say. But like, I don't think it's as much like throwing
the king.
Yeah, like I don't think it's them like throwing themselves at men, but they're just like, showing it
Right.
They
right.
have more of a chance to be like, look at how pretty I am.
Okay, that was the wrong way.
You
that was
sexist.
I was blaming them. That's right.
It's a fun thing to do. We like blaming women around
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
All right,
Why not?
We enjoy it.
Yeah, started with Eve, and we're like, hey, it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever seen?
No, but what?
Have you ever seen Roy Scovel's bit on Adam and Eve?
No, I don't think so.
He's like, people say it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I wish it was Adam and Steve, because Steve wouldn't have been dumb enough to talk to a snake. He's in the Southern guy voice, like, women are dumb.
I saw a video the other day of somebody, and they were like, when I get to heaven or whatever, and it's like, see Moses, and everybody was like, ah, it's like, sees David, whoa, sees Eve, and it's like, it's like, sees Jesus, whoa.
Dude, yeah, it's gotta be awkward if Eve is in heaven.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I think about that all the time. I think about all the time because, all right, so I don't know how much you know about the Bible, but
I was raised Southern
man, we
Baptist,
are
yeah.
taking a turn. All right, so King Solomon, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you think King Solomon is in heaven?
I mean, so the most I know about him was the whole cutting the baby in half
Yes.
thing.
Which that didn't even happen. So like not the story didn't happen. I'm saying he never actually cut the baby in half.
No, yeah, he
because like
proposed-
the mom, the real mom was like, no, she could just keep it. She could just don't kill it, you know.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, you're the real mom. So he never actually that one. Mm-hmm. But he did sacrifice children. Like, it says it very clearly that like that was his. So my whole thing about the Bible is that it is literally stories of people who are flawed in like huge ways, and they're doing like the right thing in bad situations, right? Like you know what I'm saying? And it's like so anyway.
Well, I mean, how was the harvest the next year? Like, let's
so
take a
you're
look.
saying hear him out?
Yeah.
I mean, did it work?
Yeah.
Right. But he did sacrifice several children. I think he even killed some of his own, like sacrificed them to the owl god.
Well, I mean, well, number one, owl god. Yeah, he's not going into heaven. You can't have other idols. And
That's
stuff.
see,
yeah. So,
but that's the whole question. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so what you're saying is, so long as I don't sacrifice any of my kids to an owl effigy, and I can still get into heaven.
I mean, if it's for the Lord,
Yeah.
you know. Also,
it's like I'm just trying to do my best, and it's like, so if he made it, I'm good, right? So long as I'm not killing any kids.
credit to him for if he's gonna sacrifice kids, you got to sacrifice a few of your own. Because
that is true. You
people
know
are gonna
what I
be
mean?
like, I mean, you got 5 fucking kids right there. You're not fucking.
Oh, he was
yeah.
royal, dude. He had 500 wives. He probably had hundreds of kids.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's like breakage at Kmart, you know? Like they just expect to lose a couple. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that like, yeah, so long as I don't cross that line.
I mean, all you got to do is ask for forgiveness.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think something goes into trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like that's part of it too. You can't just go through life being just a huge piece of shit and then at the last minute buzzer beater be like, I'm sorry, you know, like before the heart attack.
I feel like that's what everybody does though. Like whenever they like see it coming, they're like,
I'll change my ways.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
you ever have dreams about heaven?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Especially as a kid, I would wake up like, because like somebody in my family wasn't going. And like my grandma, I had a dream one time where I told my grandma like, you got to slide down this slide. If you don't slide down this slide, you can't get into heaven. And she was like, I don't believe in slides. And I was like, no, as I slid down. Yeah. And then I woke up like in a cold sweat. And then I told my mom about it. And so then she used it to preach to my grandmother. And
That she should believe in slides.
yeah.
Go to the playground, God damn it!
Well, they thought it was just this like funny, sweet story about like, he wants everyone to believe in God, but really it was just like this, like this, like I was like I couldn't, you know, that feeling where you can't breathe, like something's sitting on you, and you're like, oh gosh,
The pressure of that when you're 6 and you're like, Grandma's damned. Oh no.
Grandma's not going to heaven. Grandma's not going to heaven.
I had a dream that like I was like meeting all of my family members who had passed away and stuff like in heaven, and it was literally like an airport drop off area. Like there was escalators, like golden escalators, and then everything else was just clouds. So I don't know why I think like the gates to heaven, there's like a little escalator thing. Like you gotta have your boarding pass.
I could see it.
And everything ready to go, like identification.
I could see it.
So I guess we should be ready whenever that occurs.
Yeah, have your papers in order.
Documentation.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, that heaven's not a place you just show up to. I feel like being punctual is pretty important too. So like some people aren't gonna make it just on that alone.
Especially like modern medicine. You think Peter's everybody like, dude, you were supposed to die like 6 months ago. The fuck? Where have you been?
Not after the vaccine came out. Am I right? I'm just kidding. No, that is funny to think like, yeah, they're waiting on him.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is he?
Dude, you fucked with the plan, dude.
Yeah,
God's plan. Drake starts playing. It's God's plan, dude. What the fuck?
Come on, man. You're one of the we've actually had 6 of those today. Something coming on. Yeah, is there a new? It's Ozempic.
Yeah.
It's Ozempic. That's so funny. Be like, actually, it saved like 50,000 people from having heart attacks. They lived an extra 25 years. I mean, it felt like nothing to us, but congrats.
Good job, guys.
Not a lot of people get that. So many people are like, oh wow, you're here already? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the real question.
Yeah, you were just in 5th grade. What? Oh. Oh, yeah, we did send you to Sandy Hook. I forgot about it.
I knew what it was immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Some people would have been like, oh, what? Is he talking about cancer? No. We can't say what he's talking about because then this episode will get flagged and we'll get put on a list somewhere.
What, just because they're crisis actors? Is that what
I'll tell you what the real crisis is.
Yeah, we go from Christianity to crisis actors in 10 minutes.
Well, we're two straight white men. Where else are we? We're just pulled that way like magnets. Which is the best show? Scared Straight, To Catch a Predator, Cops, or Cheaters? Do you remember Cheaters?
I didn't. So I've watched parts of Scared Straight. I've never seen Cheaters. That would just make me like sad. Anytime I see like somebody getting cheated on, I go in my own head of just like, I'm not home a lot.
It's horrific.
Yeah.
Some of the episodes were funny, but everybody watches it. Like, I don't know. I loved it. The host got stabbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think they were on a boat, and they pulled up alongside the boat. So the two people, there was a couple people, and they were like having sex on a boat, and they pulled up, and the camera and stuff like that. And the guy was like yelling at his wife because she was with another man, and then the guy jumps to the other boat and like stabbed the host.
Oh my god!
And didn't realize like they were being filmed, like it was TV. I think that's what happened. I'm almost positive that's what happened.
Dude, I mean, yeah, like you gotta expect they're gonna get mad, dude. They're gonna get really fucking mad.
Yeah, dude.
Which is crazy that happened on Cheaters and not To Catch a Predator.
Right.
Like no pedophile was ever like, I'm not fucking going back, dude. Like nobody pulled a fucking gun. And
what does that say about the predators though? Around
very responsible people, very level-headed. They just got a good head on their shoulders.
They're just, they're not here for violence. They're there for love.
It preaches to Chris Hansen and how good of a host that he is. Because he just took full control calmly.
He really disarms.
Just sit down.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a seat? Why don't you, dude? To Catch a Predator is like, that's one where I'll show people compilations of it, being like, "Isn't this funny?" And they're like, "What the fuck? What's your fucking problem, dude?" I'm like, "He just walked in a house naked." Like he just, from his car was naked, walked into the house. The neighbors saw him for sure.
Then he had to have an interview.
Yeah, and they're like, "All right, get him a towel at least, thank God." But yeah, and it's just weird.
And then of course he walks out the door and gets tackled by 7 SWAT officers, which is always the best.
Yeah, I feel bad for those cops because they're sitting there watching the footage like, "Fuck, dude, I don't want to grab this guy's fucking smelly wank, you know? 'Cause,
I don't know. After a guy gets done describing what he wants to do to like a little girl, you would probably they're probably chomping at the bit behind the scenes.
For
They're
sure.
just like,
but you still don't want to have to grab cock
No,
in order to have
no.
to fucking like
no, you
Yeah.
don't. But I mean,
No,
you can imagine.
Oh my god. And especially the ones like they filmed in Florida and like there's
Oh,
video
yeah.
of them like flooring a fucking guy and Chris Hansen's like, well, it's an easy state to get a gun, so they just
Bite
gotta
the curb! Bite the curb! Like, just murking people, and they're like, it's for the name of justice.
That's a show I would watch. Curb stomping pedophiles. Oh my god. Netflix, dude, come on. Like,
Why do I feel like people are going to be mad at us for saying this?
Yeah, I know.
They're going to
yeah.
be like, they're minor attracted persons. It's like, no.
Such a funny movement that like they try to join.
I feel like
LGBT,
it's one of those like secret things. Like it's like when the police, remember when the police sent out free Super Bowl tickets to a couple people that had warrants, and then they showed up and they got with their IDs and got arrested. I think that movement is like anyone who signs up to be in this movement, we're 100% watching you from the rest of your life. Like you're not gonna go to the bathroom without us knowing.
No, dude. Like immediately on a list.
Oh
Just
yeah. Oh yeah. What if we do? What if that's actually it, and we just exposed it?
The FBI.
They're like,
dude, shut the
dude,
fuck
stop!
up.
What the hell?
Yeah, South Park's doing episodes about it. You know, like
Did they?
they did one. Yeah. Cartman is like, I'm sick of hanging out with young kids, dude. I need adult friends, and they're like, we'll be your friend. Like that's the episode. I've been watching way too much South Park. Sure. It's infected my brain.
I had the flu last week, and I watched a lot of World War I stuff because I've always been into World War II.
Yeah.
But I realized I didn't really know all that much about World War I.
It's just so sad.
And it was I remember in high school, my teacher being like, World War II was really boring. It was just trenches. There wasn't a lot of movement back and forth. World War II, now that was something. And she was old enough to remember World War II. So, I can see why that one had a special place in her heart. But
Yeah, special place. God, the war.
when we beat those Nazis. Yeah, that's because she was still that was the whole thing. Like during World War II, you were part of the war effort, and everybody did their part. So when we beat the Germans and the Japanese, we beat the Germans and the Japanese. You know what I mean? Like the whole country did it. They all felt like they helped.
It's funny too, because World War I, we held out until the last 2 or 3 years of the war, and then we just came in and fucking fucked everybody up. Pretty much. Did you watch All Quiet on the Western Front?
Yeah, loved it.
Oh my god, so good.
It's such a good movie. I remember the original, so I mean, I knew what was going to happen, but I really liked this version. I was like, oh, nice. Did you watch 1917?
I did watch 1917.
That's a good one.
I like the one take thing and stuff.
Oh yeah, the long shot.
Because it's hard to do it is hard to do a war movie that's not just another fuck yeah, America. Hell yeah, dude, we are the good guy and stuff. Yeah. Especially back in that time period, it's very easy to glorify it and stuff. But I think that one take, it's a fun premise. They're just running. That's the whole. They're just fucking running. They got to get to one.
Well,
spot.
there's so much coordination that would go into it.
Yeah.
With everything. So much. And that was what was really impressive to me about it. But
so, Goodfellas, with that scene where they go into the Copacabana, with it's when he's just kind of really mobbed up. And he meets Lorraine. He's taking her to Copacabana, and she's like, "Oh my fucking god, this guy's so cool." It's all one shot, and they had to do it over and over and over again, and finally they showed it to Scorsese, the finished thing. And the scene where they bring the table down specifically for them in the front, he's like, it's not swooshy enough. It needs to be a big swoosh from the tablecloth when they to make it look more fancy and stuff. So they had to get everybody back and fucking do it just to get the one table swoosh shot, which is fucking. That's got to be such a pain in the ass. Like, yeah, I can't imagine filming a whole movie.
I can't.
2 hour long fucking thing. Like, it cuts. Like, whenever it gets like dark or something, I'm sure that's where they sneak them in. But yeah, pretty fucking difficult.
When I went to like a cinematography school, it was called digital digital media production. But it really was like the teacher loved movies and loved cinema, so he would have us write or film like short movies. And I did a 3-minute movie about doing stand-up like as soon as the pandemic hit, and you would go to the club. It was me on stage, and the only people in the audience were my parents, and then somebody, and then the lady who works the like event throws a bag of popcorn at me. Anyway, I had to get another shot. For whatever reason, the popcorn hitting me, it was out of like focus.
No.
We had to do like 19 shots of me just getting hit in the face with popcorn over and over, because then it would be like the person throwing it would miss, or it would be too low, or it would be too high, or the popcorn would come out sideways, or it would it was insane. And I remember being like, how this, I don't even care anymore. But it's the most important, it was like the most important shot of the story.
Yeah.
For it to just be the icing on the cake of how much worse this can. And then there was even a line that you had to include of, well, how much worse can it get? Or, well, it can't get any worse than this, or something like that. And it was supposed to talk, okay, so like the whole theme of the short films were COVID stories. And so you had to film something and they had to say this phrase.
Yeah.
And so I changed it to where my mom like turned to my dad and goes, well, it can't get much worse than this, or whatever, because everybody else was like recording death tolls and stuff. and then it was just like, well, how much worse can it get? Like it was, oh man.
Oh, dude, I just graduated my film course.
Oh yeah, Fat Buddha, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Fat Buddha Studios.
Fat Buddha Studios. They are the ones where like I would go in and somebody who works there would teach me how to edit and like shoot and stuff, and we would shoot stuff there. But there's like it's a online program that I don't want to say the name of, but like basically you have to do like online book stuff while you're doing that. But I'm at the point where I'm watching porn and I'm like, that's a good transition. Like that, honestly, the way that's cut together, like good job. Like somebody had it's a little bit of art in there that we don't appreciate, and you know, it's especially like one of those.
The age-old question: when does smut become cinema? You know, like,
yeah. Have you ever seen the movie? You don't like horror movies? Never mind.
I don't mind. I haven't seen a ton of them, but what is it?
X. It came out recently. It's like it's supposed to be kind of like a classic, like slasher, but it's these porn people in the 70s go out to a farm and they shoot a porn. Yeah. But one of the kids who's like shooting is like, this is gonna be art. We're gonna do it like French cinema and stuff like that. So it's so funny that back then they could have that mentality of just like, okay, yeah, we're fucking. Let's make it nice.
But
this is actually about emissions.
But it's really about, it's a commentary on the social justice. That's what it does. Like I can just imagine hippies from the like late 60s, early 70s.
Goddamn hippies.
We're making porn, but it says something. You said you like football a lot. What's the best part of a football team? Is it the passing, the running game, defense, or special teams? What's the most important part of a football team?
If we're going the most important part, I will say the offensive line. That's not one listed there, but as a center, as a high school football center, all right, like especially like watching it now, I went to a Battlehawks game
Mm-hmm.
last season, and football is so much more fun live because it's just dudes
yeah.
hitting each other
Yeah.
in front. But like a good offensive line will take like a meh team to like the playoffs, pretty much. Just because like if the quarterback's not getting hit, and they're spending millions of dollars getting pass rushers like Nick Bosa, fucking like Khalil Mack, who's not the best anymore, Micah Parsons. Like,
Yeah.
just pay this guy to run full speed at Patrick Mahomes because somebody's got to. But if you have a good offensive line like the Eagles, like they got the tush push and everything, they had Jason
yeah.
Kelsey. That's the most fun part of the game to me, especially because I feel like the only person who's actually watching that, like that part of the game, like what those guys are doing.
I always watch those. The Rams had a great offensive line during not the greatest show on turf, but afterwards they had a pretty good one.
Yeah.
But there was this guy named Timmerman that I would remember, Adam Timmerman, number 62, and he would get so many penalties, and I would get so furious because he was a tackle. He was an offensive tackle, and that's what I was. And I was just like, dude, stop jumping offside! Like, stop holding! And it's like every time the whistle would blow, I would look at my mom and be like, number 62, Adam Timmerman. And she'd be like, you don't know. It could be Orlando Pace. And I'm like, and sure enough.
Yeah.
Sure enough. And I'd just be like,
Dude. You get so mad, but at the same time, like they are working the hardest.
oh, yeah.
On anybody on that field. And,
I'm
like,
sure that he is so much more talented than I will ever be.
Yeah.
But he still was just like, he was that guy that I was just like every time. And the only time linemen ever get screen time during a game is the shame cam.
Yeah.
Where
they're just
and they're just like standing in the huddle, like panting and like,
looking
I
at the
know
screen,
it.
like, God damn.
I know it. I get it. And everybody's like, boo! How could you be holding? Like, I don't know, man. A giant 7 foot tall, 270 pound just animal was trying to maul me to death. Sorry I grabbed on for a second.
And the guy behind me is worth $150 million. I can't. They would get really mad at me if I didn't fucking hold this guy right now. All right, if he gets injured, we're all done.
Yeah.
That's it. That's fuck. Season's over. All right.
Yeah, sorry, this guy is treating me like the reason his dad left. All right, I'm trying to hold on. All right, I can't help it.
Dude, I would talk the most fucked up shit when I played football. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, "You look like a guy making it to the league and get kicked out for beating his wife." Like, that's the shit I would talk on the field. I love. Have you ever seen that video of Quentin Nelson screaming?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So, because a counter trap or anytime like a guard pulls, where like if audience members, if you don't know, offensive line, the big fat guys in the front, they usually just run right out and hit somebody. But sometimes they'll turn around and run behind the other offensive lineman and get just a full running start on a guy who doesn't see them coming at all. And it's the best hit in football.
Yeah.
Just a defensive end getting his fucking ear shot off.
42 trap. That was what we called ours, and it was designed. My coach told my dad the summer before my senior year, I think it was the summer before my senior year. He told my dad, he was like, we've already mapped out like where we want to put the camera just to film your son hitting this. We want him to pull, run down the line, and just get whatever outside linebacker, tight end, defensive, or not tight end, but defensive end. We want to just watch him nail these kids, because I was the same size I am now.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, like I was even bigger.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote an article about how big I was in the newspaper, and I had a full page ad. It was a picture of me with my foot like on a. It looked like my foot was on top of the field goal post, I think.
Yeah.
And I remember they came to school just to take a picture, so I had to leave. I had to leave practice, and the coaches were all like, "Oh, look at Mr. Hollywood! Look at it!" And they wanted me to wear like a sleeveless shirt and stuff, and then I read the article, and it was like, is our generation getting too fat like that? And I was like, oh my gosh. It was pretty much just like, this isn't healthy. I don't know if we should.
Literally, you think they're about to praise you for your athletic ability, and they're like, we got a fucking ogre at the high school right now.
Yeah.
He's scaring the children.
Did you guys know Shrek played for the team, the local team? Yeah, it was not my. It was. I remember being so excited. I didn't tell my dad the article was coming out. I didn't tell him I got my picture taken. I was just waiting because like every year they would do like a high school like edition or a high school football edition in the local paper.
Yeah.
Because there was like one paper, but it went to like 12 different towns. You know, and. There was all just like, I don't know. It was all just like all about offenses and stuff. And then the whole Central Tigers page was just my picture with like the words around me. Yeah. And then it was all just like, this kid's really fat. And it showed like the BMI chart with like the curve. And it had like a little dot like up here. And it was like, he is bigger than 90. He's in the 99th percentile of height. Dude. But he's also
so fat they got to pull out charts. Dude.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up.
Yeah, they were like, he weighs 320 pounds. He's 6'6" and 17 years old. Is this healthy? Like that? It was. Turns out it was not.
My biggest like shame moment in football. My senior year, I was like. We had D1 guys on the offensive line, so I didn't start varsity until my senior year. I got to start as a guard for like the first few games. I hurt my ankle. I lost my job, and I was real sad about it. You know, fucking not started on everybody's gonna know, dude. So homecoming week comes. I'm real sad. We're doing warm-ups, and I'm like doing jumping jacks, and I see my coach like look at me a couple times talking to the other coaches, and then he makes like a march towards me. And I was literally expecting to be like, dude, just turn in your pads. Like, just fucking, you can come to the games if you want, but you know what it is. Mm-hmm. Our center got hurt the game before, and we needed a center. And my dad played center in high school, so the coach was just like, you're going to learn how to play center. And that means I have to snap a ball backwards between me, hit a guy at the same time. So I had to learn how to play center in a week. Before the homecoming game.
You're the only one that plays with his head down.
Yeah. Like, literally, I have to.
You know exactly how they tell you not to hit another human being?
Dude, the most CTE-ridden position in all of sports. They were like, it's your turn, buddy, and you got to learn how to, like, we're doing shotgun, so I'm throwing a ball 10 yards behind me. I have to hit a guy in the chest and then hit a fucking 300-pound fat fuck who's trying to run through me. So I practice all fucking week. Like, I was in marching band, too, so I'm up at 6 a.m., and I'd be snapping to marching band kids, fucking nerds who can't, like, catch a football. Ooh. I would snap it, and I'd be like, where'd that hit you? And they'd be like, my shoulder. And I'm like, okay, all right, thank you. And so I dialed it in. The day came to the homecoming game. First snap, touchdown. We throw a touchdown, and we're fucking clobbering them, dude. I mean, we got up, like, 56-0. All right, it's not even halftime. So I'm feeling good. I'm like, this is fuck. I learned how to play center in a week. I'm all right. And then it starts raining a little bit. Oh. And we're on turf.
Glory moments.
So I'm cocky. I'm feeling good.
You were raining on turf?
It was raining and we were playing on turf.
Yeah, but isn't turf usually indoors?
No. It's like, I guess, AstroTurf. I don't know. But it's
like the rubbery stuff.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
So it's on turf. It's raining. I'm cocky as fuck because we've been beating the fuck out of these guys. I'm talking shit. I'm like, you're gonna go to jail when you get to the league, and it comes time for the play, and I snap the ball, and it goes 30 yards above the quarterback's head, and the defensive end just gets a running start and fucking like scores a touchdown. It's not a shutout anymore. They got the 7 points, and the Twitter for our like Facebook or whatever, like on social media is like center loses a snap, cost us a touchdown. And my uncle literally screenshotted it and was like, "What the fuck?" He's in Arkansas. Like, come on, man, you lost the shutout. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I just learned. Please.
That's what the article wrote about the game.
It's not even like the full game, but it was live game updates. So for every play, there was another one where like I didn't know, like I thought the snap count was different. So there was one where it was like everybody offsides except the center.
I thought you were saying that the headline for this article in the school paper is
"Idiot loses the shutout."
Idiot, you lose a shutout, 57-7. It's like, but we still won, right?
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, but Jack's a fucking idiot.
Dude, it was all my uncle focused on. It was just like, no good job, no fucking. You learned how to do it. Just you fucking idiot.
Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You cost us 7 points, Jack. You're a liability out there, son.
We won that game, and that still fucking haunts me. So, yeah.
That is funny. The reason I was thinking that turf was inside was because, do you remember the Rams used to play on, like, I mean, it was like tennis rack. It was just like tennis court.
Dude,
Like
I can't imagine getting fucking rocked and then just hitting concrete like right afterwards.
I just remember like as a kid just like watching that and just being like, yeah, whatever, they're playing. This makes them fast and stuff. And it's like now I go back and I look at old highlights and I'm like, what is it? Are they on like a racquetball court? Like what? Dude, and that's what I always think of turf first, and then I don't realize.
Yeah,
this is pretty much what
they realize. Turf is what let's put like 4 inches of rubber down. Yeah, that'll save them. And it's still fucking like if you get dropped on that, like it's fucking. It's
Your brain just turns into a tennis ball. It's like dum, 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 dum.
Dude, like I'm gonna not remember my name when I'm 56 for sure. Right, there's no way.
Yeah, between that and military, I've had so many concussions. Yeah, I can't even tell you, but whatever.
CTs.
So anyway, defense. I think special teams is underrated for sure, because a good punt team is crucial.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, because there's nothing worse than like if the punt team is on the field. You failed, right? You didn't score.
There's also nothing more impressive than returning a kickoff, because you got all those fucking people on the field just running right at you, like from the other side, like a 50-yard fucking running start.
I always liked that.
Like, oh, dude.
I always liked that. I always liked being on the kickoff team and the kickoff return team. Yeah. Because you basically, if you're on kickoff return, you just like run back 10 yards and then turn around and try to like smash somebody coming through. That was kind of fun, especially being big. Is like, especially if I turned in the right way, it'd be like, oh, I could possibly hit 2 people right now. It's so much fun. And then being on the kickoff team, you just get to just. Like I wasn't very fast, but if there was ever like a group of people, they would just send me through like a wrecking ball because I could break through like 6 normal-sized high school kids.
Not kickoff, but JV football. I was on defense. I was playing defensive end, and this really fat fucking guard was talking shit like the whole game, and we got fucking like an interception. And whenever there's an interception, the offense like has to turn into defense real quick, and it's a very like sudden thing. And they're only chasing one guy, but the defense can now block. So that fat guy is like way out on the side. He's like turned looking for the ball, doesn't see me. I get a fucking running start, and I leave my feet to hit him. And when I tell you the ground shook. Ooh. When he hit the fucking floor, and of course it was a huge penalty because I fucking blindsided the shit out of this kid.
But it was fun.
When you hit somebody like that, it feels like you just went right through them. Like there's no when you get a good fucking just clearing hit on somebody. Oh,
I got hit like that my sophomore year. My sophomore year we were playing on some team. And I was defensive tackle on the outside edge, and I came into the backfield. Like game long, I had just kind of been pushing this offensive lineman around and like talking shit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was just throwing him to the ground every time because I was so much bigger than him. And then I would say stuff to him, and he was getting so mad. And I threw him down one time. I ran into the backfield, and the quarterback was just burnt me. You know, he was so fast, and I was chasing him, and so like I did this loop and came back around, and the offensive lineman had gotten up and just run straight down the field and just blindsided me into my own sidelines, like through a wall of teammates.
Yeah.
And like the whole crowd went, oh,
yeah,
like that. And I was like, nah.
Feels real good to cause it, but when you're on the other side of that hit, dude, oh my God, everything changes.
I remember going, the play ended, and I went back to the line, and everybody was just kind of like, You good, man? And I was like, yeah, let's just play it. You tried to, I was like, how about outside containment, huh?
Maybe you guys did your fucking job.
Yeah. You're the only one out here working.
Dude, now I'm amped up. Let's go fucking like tackle homeless people outside. Let's go.
I bet we could pay them and they would let us do it.
Yeah. I mean, what a fun sport.
It was kind of what we were talking about, but well, I guess we did worse stories, but best game you've ever played in, or like best moment you can remember from playing football?
Ooh, this isn't even a game that I played in, but so when I was in high school, my like first like for real serious girlfriend or whatever,
Yeah.
she was 19, a senior, and I was 15, and that's molestation. It's so funny to be like, I got molested.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about it at all.
Exactly.
I was like,
Yeah.
nice,
Like,
dude.
exactly. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm 30. I'm almost 34 years old, and I was like, nice.
Sick. Yeah.
Crushing it. Awesome.
But
if a 19-year-old tried to date my 15-year-old, I'd be like, who the hell do you think you are? I would call the police.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
My dad invited her in the moment we first started hanging out. He was like, "Bring her in here. Fucking let's see what's."
Sit down, Melissa.
Yeah.
Well, how's my boy doing?
I did football and marching band, and like freshman year, I was like, just a goofy fucking kid, and I was like getting adjusted and shit. So like I had my small group of friends, but I wasn't popular or anything. And so one day, I'm hanging out with my pedophile ex-girlfriend, and we're going to go pick up pizza, and like everybody who was on the football team and like my grade was there for some reason, and I walk in with her, and I literally saw them all be like, and I was like, yeah, I am getting molested. And then I picked up my pizza and left.
I think you got to stop saying that word, man.
No.
There's a cap.
I got molested, and it was so fun. But it was that's my cool football moment, because the entire football team was just like, look at that fucking guy. Right? I immediately, my coolness increased in just a mere moment. So.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's
I was thinking like the time I got 2 sacks in a row,
No,
like that. You immediately went to, well, the time I got molested. The question was best game you've played in. The game of sexual molestation.
Yeah, probably that, or
Of course you did.
JV football. We were like, our team was very good, like the seniors were very good, and we just got the shit kicked out of us at practice all the time. So when it came to like our JV games, we were fucking stacked and ready to just demolish anybody at our level. So yeah, I put up like 4 sacks in one game at like Rockwood Summit, and
Nice.
I remember putting a kid like I sacked the quarterback, and I got up and there was an indent on the grass from where like I pushed him into it, and I was like, I'm a man, dude. I'm a sophomore in high school, man.
I don't know what it was, but I lost all of my like aggression in like my freshman year. Mm-hmm. I lost like 90% of my. Actually, Yeah, that makes sense. That was the year I broke up with my girlfriend. And then I was just like, my sophomore year, I was so bad at football. All the
Yeah.
coaches were they would tell me, they were like, we're so disappointed in you. We were
Yeah.
so excited for you to come up to varsity.
Yeah.
And you've been nothing but,
Yeah.
like I had this one coach who hated me. He would make sure, he would go out of his way to tell me every single day, like, I really don't like you. Like, I mean, like, yeah, he got fired after my junior year.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, we were terrible. So,
Yeah.
like, my sophomore year, we won 4 games. My junior year, we won 3 games, but we still were district champions for some reason.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We just won the only 3 important games at the
Yeah.
very end. And then my senior year, I think we won 2 games. And then the year after I graduated, they didn't win any. So it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I had this one coach who would tell me, he would like go out of his way to be like, I hate you, just so you know. And like, I get it, because my sophomore year, I was terrible. My junior year, I wasn't as good as I definitely should have been. And then I got really dedicated to like working out and stuff. And I got really good, and I started getting like recruited from the local colleges and stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt I was like feeling myself, and then I blew my back out.
Oh, fuck.
And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I had to have back surgery. I had like 3 herniated discs. Yeah, I played 3 games with it, and I was like, guys, my back and my leg really hurt. Like I think I tore my ass muscle, and they were like, that's not possible.
No,
You can't tear an ass muscle. That's not possible.
It's not as important as high school football.
And they were like, come on,
dude.
we've got Jackson next week. Are you going to play or not? And you're like, I mean,
Dude,
yeah.
recovering after a concussion, having a coach be like, "What, you need brain surgery?" Literally, I had that asked me like several times. It was just like, "Oh, my brain."
I remember we had to take a test one time, like in the computer lab at school they were conducting the CTE like exam, you know? There was like a questionnaire that you had to fill out, and it's like, have you ever been hit so hard you heard ringing? Have you ever been hit so hard, you felt dizzy? Like, how many times would you say that you've been one of those like questionnaires? This is back in 2006 or something like that.
That's wild.
And the trainer was getting mad at us because he was like, guys, what are you telling me? All of you have had concussions? Come on. Just fudge the. You want to play or not?
Yeah.
Fudge the numbers a bit like that. And we were like, okay, all right.
I guess I'm not a
And
pussy.
then he would still like apparently like no one passed.
Yeah.
It was like one of those things like, oh yeah, all of these kids have had major concussions. And it's like, meh.
Yeah. Just a practice.
Yeah.
Literally just a practice. Just fucking Oklahoma drill. Why not? Let's
Why not?
fucking
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong.
Bull in the ring.
Fun, but
Let's hit this kid and have him not know which direction it's coming from.
Yeah.
That was always my favorite, because there's 40 kids around you, and you have to remember each. Like, did you ever have a coach that would be like even, odd, even, odd, even, odd? So that way it was like you had to remember like, okay, 24 is going to be over here, but 27 is going to be over here.
I don't think we did bull in the ring.
It was like a circle of guys with one guy in the middle, and a coach would call out a number, and that number would charge the guy in the middle, and you had to like, boom, and yeah.
Oh my god, that's so. I feel like that serves no purpose at all.
No. That's
somebody get a running start at this kid. We fucking.
That started from like when guys came back from World War II, and we're like, I'll coach the football team.
Yeah,
We're gonna win state.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we beat the Nazis.
Yeah.
Like he's just beating kids into touchdowns.
Digging trenches in a football practice field. Just be like, you never know where they're coming from. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Skip this. Best football movie.
I mean, honestly, probably Waterboy for me.
That's a good answer.
I mean, there's like all the sappy ones and shit, but it's just.
I was gonna go with Any Given Sunday.
I don't think I've seen it.
You've never seen Any Given Sunday?
Wait, is that the one with Al Pacino?
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen it, but I just don't.
You got to rewatch it.
Yeah.
He gives the best speech in it that'll make you want to like run through a wall.
Yeah.
And it's just a good story. There's like a shady owner and the coach is like on his last legs and he's trying to win one more and like the team doesn't get along and stuff like that. Like it's got all the elements, but it's not like Disney and
for sure.
crappy kid.
I feel like there hasn't been like a sports movie in a while. I mean, not there was like a Kurt Warner movie or whatever, but
yeah. Did you see it?
No, I heard it was dog shit.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
I'm not a Zachary Levi. I'm like, we already got so many of you. You know, like we don't.
Like, we've got enough tall, good-looking guys. Like,
yeah, like you're muscly. Like well, you could be Shazam.
That's why I went for tall and ugly. Yeah, we don't have too many of those. All right,
you're a very specific.
It's like me and that one dude from Whose Line Is It Anyway? And that's it.
Dude,
was it Ryan Stiles?
I don't know his name. Yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
What about The Replacements?
That's one like I know I've seen, but it just doesn't like I don't look back on it. You know,
you said you liked movies.
I do like movies, but this is a very niche genre. I have way more baseball movie memories than I have football movie memories for some reason. Like
I don't like baseball.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I really just don't care for. I mean, I like rooting for the Cardinals, and I like going to a game.
Yeah.
Because that's fun. Because it's basically like, hey, we're going to just hang out and talk. It's more fun when you're there. But, like, I never watch it on TV. I think that Moneyball ruined baseball. It ruined it. Because it's all math now. Yeah. And as someone who's terrible at math, I'm like, remember when it used to be fun? Well, like, you used to, like, not have to do
when steroids
math.
were a thing?
Yeah,
bring
like
steroids.
That's when I grew up. I grew up in the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire era, and that was the most fun baseball has ever been. And they should, you know what? They should thank them.
Yeah, 100%. Like
bring back betting. Bring back the Pete Rose betting. Bring back the guys doing acid and throwing a no-hitter. Bring back steroids and the home run smash. Like, bring it all back. Dude. Bring it all, but get rid of the math. I told I like to, sometimes I like to pick fights with my in-laws. Yeah. And they're all huge Cardinals fans, you know, as am I. But I always make fun of baseball and tell them that it's not a real sport. I am like, baseball was just invented to give math nerds some vitamin D. That's the only reason, because they knew that you guys would stay inside with your calculators and never come outside and stuff like that. They're like, this one's right.
Dude, I mean, well, it's also gotten to the point where, like, pitching has gotten so good that it, like, people literally just can't fucking hit it. Like, that. Yeah. I have my uncle works at, like, Busch Stadium, and he's talked about that. Like, pitching's just gotten so fucking good. That's why, like, I can't sit and watch baseball during the regular season, but playoff baseball, that's fun because those are the best teams and guys who actually put up fucking runs and shit. So like the fucking whenever I think it was when the Astros played the Indians, I think, to get to the World Series, or it was the World Series, one of those in the World Series. The Astros, even though they were fucking cheating the whole time, they're hitting fucking dingers. Yeah, and that was fun to watch.
I didn't understand how are they cheating like.
They would do what everybody else is doing, but get caught. They would steal the signs from the catcher, and then they would, like, hit a trash can or something. Like, they had signals to each other to let each other know, like, curveball, fastball. Like, this is what's coming, basically, which is probably why they're hitting giant fucking home runs. And, like, yeah. But
sorry. They figured it out.
Yeah.
Come up with a different symbol.
My so Game 6 of the 2011
nerds, dude, nerd rules. Those are what would be the best rule that you could add to baseball to make it better?
If you storm the mound, like charge the pitcher, they have to sit back and watch the two of them fight, like hockey.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Fights.
Yeah. Because that's my favorite part of baseball is bench clearing brawls, and it's fun to just see everybody. But it gets like too just moundish. Like you can't see anybody hitting each other and shit. Some you can like.
Well, some of them do that because they don't know how to fight.
Exactly.
Have you ever
Just
seen,
push it.
have you ever
Yeah.
seen two baseball players try to fight each other? You're
Yeah.
like, they don't know how to. They don't.
Dude, there's a fucking I can't remember their names, but it was the fucking Rangers versus the Blue Jays, and I think it's Javier Baez. He slid into second, but he like took the guy's legs out, and he got up, loaded up, and punched him so fucking hard that his head turned, but his glasses and helmet stayed in the same position. It just immediately they both got fucking swarmed. But yeah, if we could do it like hockey, where like if you charge the mound,
I think
those two just gotta fucking fight.
If the outfielder drops his glove and the batter or the whatever drops their helmet or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that means like, hey, it's on.
Yeah.
Like in hockey, like if I throw my gloves off, you and I are going at it, and I like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I love Nolan Ryan. I can't remember who rushed him. I think it was Ventura or something. But like, it's the best storming the mound moment ever because Nolan Ryan's like in his 40s, throwing fucking heat, and he hits him, charges him out. Nolan just takes him, puts him in a headlock, and just starts fucking wailing on this dude. Like gets like 7 good punches in before the rest of the team comes and jumps on top of him. I'm like, that's what fucking baseball needs.
Yeah. Give it a shot of adrenaline.
Dude.
What about basketball? What would be the best rule you could add? You like fighting. Actually. More fighting.
Well, if we could get China out of basketball, I think that. I don't watch basketball as much as like football, but
I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I think? Okay. Make anything. Okay, the 3-point line is now a 1-point line. Anything inside that little half circle is still worth 2 points, unless it's a layup or a dunk is now worth 3 points. Because think about it, if game on the line, you're gonna have dudes charging in every single shot, and because you got to get those points, it's gonna bring back the basketball from the 90s where it was all defense. Remember when the Pistons and the Bulls used to just fight each other, and it was like they wouldn't stop the game. They would just be like, all right, keep going.
I wasn't alive, but I know I've heard the stories of like, especially with, like facing Jordan. They're just like, yeah, fucking knock him out. Like, and that's like nobody. Number one, people didn't want to get fucking posterized anymore because it would be on ESPN if some dude's fucking nuts in your face. Bill Burr has a bit about it. I think. Like, but now like, I think there's way more penalties and shit, and like just that version of the game is just not around.
Dennis Rodman, that was his whole job. You look at some of those games, he had 0 points, but he would have like 40 rebounds because he was just in the paint, shot after shot, just getting like destroyed. And then they would be like, Rodman, where are you? And he's like, I'm in Las Vegas having sex with white women. I'll be back whenever, And they're like, no, we need you now. And he's like, nah, I don't think I want to come back and get beat up. I think I'm going to stay out here and do drugs and gamble.
I'm going to party in North Korea.
I'm going to go hang out in North Korea. I'm going to go shoot a missile at some cows. I'll be back.
Dude. Oh my god, yeah! When you're a celebrity in North Korea, the type of shit they let you do, probably like that's why the interview was so funny. Where he's like, "Let's go hang out in my tank, dude." Listening to Katy Perry and shit.
If listening to Katy Perry and drinking margaritas is gay, I don't want to be straight. And I had to do a German accent because you can't do an Asian accent anymore.
I think when it's North Korea, that's if it's Kim Jong,
that's why I made it German. I was like, because out of context, did you know I was being North Korean? Like, you know what I mean? So best World War II fact, I feel like all guys have a World War II fact that they like stick to,
So when Pearl Harbor happened,
I
don't know who it was, but like there's a general, and somebody like ran into his office like, the Japanese, they're attacking Pearl Harbor, and his response was just like chill. He's like, what are they, nuts? And for some reason, I don't know what exactly it is, but the word nuts is like our U.S. word of defense.
Yeah.
Or something like, what are you, nuts? Like that became like our slogan after that.
And then they used it again later during the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The Germans surrounded a lot of paratroopers in the Bastogne and tried to like dig them out, and then they put this huge. It was Hitler's last big offensive, and when the German general sent a message to the general in charge of the troops that were surrounded and said like, "You have to give up, or we'll completely annihilate you," or whatever. And he said like, nuts or something like that. Back to him, just like
That's so fucking, that's American as fuck.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
like,
I love moments like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen? Okay, so this isn't real. It's a movie.
Yeah.
But speaking of great moments, have you ever seen Fury?
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
I love it at the end when Brad Pitt's on top of the tank and the German soldier's like, "We are going to skin you alive." And he's like, "Shut up and send me more pigs to kill."
Yeah.
Like that. I was like,
I was jerking off. I was literally.
Dude, such a great moment.
Dude, and it's so funny, too, because, like, in that movie, like, they're not good people.
Yeah.
Like, they're genuinely, like, he's trying to make them kill, like, a defenseless German guy. He goes to, like, these chicks' houses. He's like, "Make me dinner." He's going to fuck one of you. He sends fucking Percy Jackson into the back room to get laid and stuff. And then the other two guys come and ruin it and shit. Like, there's, like, genuinely, like, sad, like, ooh, this is fucking not good. But by the end, you're like, fucking kill them, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're in.
Go.
I'm in the fucking tank. Like, let's go to that lady's house right now. I'm on the team.
That's so. Oh yeah, dude. But then she dies, and then man, dude, it's so good.
That dude, I feel.
I tell people before that's one of the best war movies I've ever seen, because it is as realistic without being over the top.
Yeah,
like. That kind of bothers me a lot. Like Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah.
It's so, there's some moments that are so over the top, it really takes me out of it. Like there's a moment where a dude picks up like a half of a body and uses it as a shield and then runs with a machine gun.
Oh my fucking God.
Towards the Japanese. And I'm like, that never happened. Why are you doing? The story is good enough.
Yeah.
Stop bump. And they even dialed it back because what he actually did, they were like, that's not possible. People aren't going to be able to believe this.
Yeah.
Like they're going to think,
well, that's fucking Mel Gibson, dude.
Yeah. But then he dials up like a non-important part and you're like, what are you doing? Why were you? First of all, you can't lift up even half a body, half of a grown man, 90 pounds. You know, like
Also,
and then
like bullets won't still go fucking through like that guy. Like the fuck. Yeah.
I don't know. That part and Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn is like. It's like cringe-worthy bad. Yeah. He's so bad in that movie.
He can't be in a serious role. At least not like that.
But they were like, "Oh, who can talk fast and say funny things?" Like Vince Vaughn will do it, and it's like he's like the only one that's out of shape. He's clearly too old to be there. Because, like, when you think about, like, the guys that went to war, the average age was, the age range was, like, 18 to 26, maybe 30 at the latest. Yeah. Like, even during World War II where they were like, hey, we need bodies, people weren't older than 30. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or maybe, like, 34. He's, like, 52. You know what I mean? Like, he's 20 years too old to be in war. They're not taking, like, they might have, like, gotten him as a conscription, but he's going to be guarding some base in the United States or, like, driving a truck somewhere. Like, he's not leading platoons. No. And he's just his whole, every line he has is so cringeworthy. I don't know.
Well, it's also like they have to play up, like, they're making Andrew Garfield's character like, I'm not going to kill nobody. Yeah. Like, they have to make him like versus the odds and make them look like bad. But it's also very understandable to be like, hey, dude, you're in war.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a gun. Like their point of view is very like reasonable.
Valid.
Yes.
Yeah,
so they have to make them like the bad guy.
Yeah, what people don't understand is that like for every time somebody gets injured, it takes 2 other people out of the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then there's 3 guns that are down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you can only take like 3 casualties per squad of 10 before that squad's not effective anymore.
Yeah.
You know, because like you're going to have to, like, that's what made the medic story so crazy, is that he saved all those guys by himself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When it usually would have taken 3 times the men to save the 78 people that he saved by himself. That's why the story is so great. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, you're right. They're like, hey, dude. First of all, you need a gun because you need a gun.
Yeah.
They're going to try to kill you. Like, you need a gun. Second of all, you're the guy that's supposed to take care of us. So if you get shot and killed, we're going to die too.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to us on our first deployment. Like, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
So when I watched that movie, I was like, oh, like I had conflicting feelings about it. I mean, it is still, I mean, what the story, if you can put the Hollywood aside and just watch the story, it's a cool movie.
Yeah.
But I have some hard opinions about Vince Vaughn.
For sure.
You're
like, go crash a wedding, all right?
Yeah,
Don't be in war.
Yeah,
right now. Yeah.
What are you doing? We know you're not. And it's just like every line is like, what are you doing, Private? What are you doing? You're stupider than a jackrabbit and a briar. Like that, like just the dumbest lines ever. And it's just, I don't know.
I think Full Metal Jacket set such an expectation for like what a drill sergeant's supposed to be in a movie that like.
Do you know why?
It's fucking because it's an actual drill sergeant.
Because it's an actual drill sergeant. Yeah.
But,
shout out Gunny.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know what they did? You know his audition was for that role? He filmed himself. He set up a camera, stood in front of it, and yelled insults for 15 minutes while someone pelted him with tennis balls to show, like, hey, I'm not going to break character no matter what.
Yeah.
I can. And he didn't repeat any insults. He kept coming up with.
I heard.
And Stanley Kubrick was like, sold. I want this guy.
I heard that he was like helping them cast.
Yeah.
Who it would be, and then Stanley was like, "You, I think we should just do you." Like, I think.
Well, that too.
So I guess he probably sent the audition tape of like, "Can you actually stay in character?" Yeah.
Probably to show other people like, "Hey, I can do this." You know.
Yeah.
And when you learn that, then you realize like, oh, like what makes a lot of those boot camp scenes so real is like, those guys are not acting. Like, they're really scared. They're really like, ah!
Dude, remember when you're working with fucking Stanley Kubrick, fucking scary ass. I mean, he sent Shelley Duvall into a nervous breakdown for The Shining, and then an actual drill sergeant fucking screaming at you and shit.
Yeah.
And you're an actor and you're crawling through fucking mud.
You're an 18-year-old actor, and it's just like when they, I don't know. There's so many good books about the Marine Corps that do not make the Marine Corps look good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that get out of the Marines and then write books about it are like, this wasn't okay. Like, yeah. So I'm always skeptical of it, but like even some of the famous ones, like I always say that.
Yeah.
The Pacific is based off of is 2 books, With the Old Breed by Eugene Sledge, and I think Helmet for My Pillow by Bob Mackey. I might have gotten those reversed.
Yeah.
Anyway, but those are basically the source material for the miniseries The Pacific, and it was so much worse than what they show.
Yeah.
In it.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah,
like,
so much worse. And after they got out, both of them were like, "Nah, I'm gonna burn my uniform. I'm never gonna put this on again." Like I'm so like,
fuck.
Yeah.
Like being in the Pacific Theater, I can't fucking imagine.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's where my great granddad was in the war. Like,
no, thank you.
He was a engineer, and he would fucking like be building shit while getting like shot at and shit,
Yeah.
like fixing stuff. And when he came back, he had like really bad PTSD, and it was in the 50s in Arkansas, so there's no science.
Yeah.
There's no doctors being
Yeah.
like, this is natural, like we need to work through this. So he's having nightmares all the time. So they bring in a preacher to pray over him while he's sleeping and having these nightmares. And like he was literally a brand new preacher just out of like school and stuff like that. So he's praying over. It's the middle of the night, and my granddad was like your size, like 6 foot,
Yeah.
fucking 4, giant jack dude, war hero, decorated and everything. The preacher's praying over him, and my granddad just shoots his arm up and grabs him, pulls him down into bed with him, and like starts yelling at like, "Get in the fucking hole if you want to fucking," and like just is screaming. And my grandmother's in the back like, "I don't think we should have called a doctor." Yeah, like this guy's only gonna help us so much, I think. So, but yeah.
That's crazy
Yeah.
that they were like, well, he's possessed, clearly.
Yeah, exactly. The evil spirits
Oh
got
my
him.
God,
Yeah.
my boy! He went to fight the Japanese, and they put a spirit in him. Like,
Japanese voodoo's got a hold of his
Yeah.
soul.
no,
Nope.
no,
Nope, just
no,
served.
just Mount Sarabachi. Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I am Marine Corps through and through, but if I went back in time, knowing what I know now, I'm 100% joining the Army and going to France.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to go from island to island. I'll go through the cold of the Battle of the Bulge
Yeah.
to avoid, 2 years of 100+ degree heat. Like,
Just malaria.
I'm good.
fucking-
Yeah. I'm good. Monsoon season. Just
Yeah.
plus an
Blisters.
enemy that doesn't want to surrender.
No, just crazy fucking. I will die before I fucking.
I was reading, so this says a best World War II battle. So
Mm-hmm.
before you came, I got bored and I started reading through old World War II battles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And on Iwo Jima, there were, I think they said 50,000 Japanese soldiers. And when it was over, they had like 36 prisoners or something like that. Like everybody else just fought to the death.
Dude.
And the only reason they took some of those prisoners were because the soldiers had gotten knocked out or were immobilized
Yeah.
and like just could not fight anymore.
Yeah.
And so they would like, all right, well, we can't let him die, I guess. And
Yeah.
although I'm sure there was.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fucking. Oof.
Hey,
Can't. Yeah.
like I said, it takes 2 people to carry 1 wounded person. And if your objection is to go this way and an enemy needs to go that way, sorry, bro.
Not today, King Wasabi.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. The other, we were talking about like nuts or whatever and being like, that's the most American thing.
Yeah.
Every year in the Marine Corps, they always do a thing around like the Marine Corps birthday where they read off like special events in Marine Corps history. And they always talk about the Battle of Tarawa, where the Japanese general was like, it would take 1,000,000 men 100 years to take Tarawa. And it took 7,000 Marines like 48 hours or something like that. And they would always say that part, and
Yeah.
everybody would be like, "Ah!" Like that, just like,
Let's go, dude.
yeah, let's fucking go. Just a whole bunch of angry, drunk, like
Yeah.
20-year-olds that are all with the spicy memories. Just
man.
go.
Yeah.
Because the best part about the Marine Corps ball was you would get dressed up, fanciest uniforms, and then you always brought the hottest girl you knew, and they would get dressed up and like it was like prom but with alcohol.
Yeah.
And your boss, like the guy that was a dick to you 364 days a year, was cool. And he
Yeah.
would drink with you, and you'd get the happy hour was from 1 to 6,
Fuck.
and then dinner, and there's a whole ceremony, and you'd see guys like they can't even stand
Yeah.
up straight, and then they always play a big motivational video, and then they read off like all the cool things the Marine Corps has ever done.
Yeah.
And then they bring out a cake, and by the time the cake comes out, you're like, yeah, let's go kill people right now.
Yeah.
And then it ends, and they're like, all right, go to downtown San Diego.
Jagging it.
Just 500 Marines dressed to the nines, but just like drunk and ready to fight people.
my God.
Oh, it's chaos.
Oh, dude.
But I miss it so much.
That sounds fucking lit.
The coolest thing I ever did in the Marine Corps it was right before I got out, and my wife and I was originally in an infantry unit, and that's why I went on deployment, and I got like some ribbons and stuff like that. And then I had picked up corporal and stuff. So we went to, then I switched jobs, and I became a marksmanship instructor. So then I had like I had won some more awards and stuff like that. So I looked, if you didn't really know what you were looking at, which not everybody knows what every ribbon is, right?
I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, even in the Marine Corps, it's not like everybody can look at you and instantly tell what you've done. So to the untrained eye, it looked semi-impressive.
Yeah.
So we left the marksmanship instructor ball because it sucked. It was at a shitty hotel. It was like people were just kind of like, ugh, I don't want to be here. Like they were all getting ready to like get out of the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So they didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
I still had another 2 years. So my wife and I were like, let's bail. And we were walking back to our hotel, and we passed by another unit having a different ball. But they were all like airplane mechanics. So all they had was like 2 ribbons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't we just crash this one? And so we just went in, and nobody could say shit to me because they were like, oh, all right, well, okay, yeah, sure, super fine. Like, who are you with? And I'd just be like, you know, and I would just throw out a random Hispanic name, like, Staff Sergeant Sanchez? And they're like, oh, yeah, I know Staff Sergeant. Be like, yeah, he's my platoon leader. And they're like, oh, cool. Who are you with? And be like, oh, yeah, you know First Sergeant Garcia, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, I know First Sergeant Garcia. Because, you just pick a rank and a Hispanic last name, and you can get away with anything,
Yeah, dude.
And you look like you belong, you act like you belong, and
you got the ribbons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and so anytime, because they were like, you could see, my wife and I were getting drunk, we were dancing and stuff, and you could see somebody like starting to come over, like, I don't recognize this dude. And then I'd turn around and like dance, and they'd just be like, oh, happy birthday, devil. Simple five. You're like, hey, thanks, man. And you just keep We did that for probably an hour and a half. And then people started like really asking questions. And I was like, oh, she's getting pretty drunk. I guess we better head back to our room. Hey, guys, it was great to see you. I'll see you at work on Monday. Yeah.
Thanks for all the booze.
Yeah, we stole a bunch of, they always make like commemorative things like coasters like this one. Actually, today is 3rd Battalion 1st Marine Day. So shout out. It is my March 1st, 3rd Battalion 1st Marines. It was always our we claimed it because we're just like the numbers match. Because we're idiots.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then on the 11th, that's 0311 Day, which was my MOS, and then that's all you got. Anyway,
No more holidays.
Yeah. Best World War II movie. I mean, we talked about Fury.
Yeah.
But there's so many.
Yeah.
I went through and looked, and it was like the 150 best World War II movie. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't think we need a list that long.
I mean, this isn't historically accurate, but I think the most entertaining one has got to be Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's no, like, emotional... I mean, like, there's, like, at the beginning, like, some, like, emotional weight to it, but for the rest of it's just like, we're just killing Nazis, dude.
Yeah,
We're
dude.
just fucking... I'm Brad Pitt. Cool.
That it takes place in its own universe.
Where they kill Hitler at the end.
They were like, because why not?
Yeah.
I like how Quentin Tarantino was like, I wanted to kill Hitler.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Fuck
Who doesn't?
100. That's like, he's...
Wait, are you saying that you don't?
The studio's like, Quentin, this isn't accurate. It's like, well, I mean,
I'm sorry.
Wouldn't you like to see it though?
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, I think Inglourious Bastards is like just the most like fun sit down and watch like a movie about.
Also
World War II,
Brad
but-
Pitt.
Also Brad Pitt.
I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, that's like that was one. That might be the movie that got me into like Tarantino too, because that came out and I was like just kind of old enough for my parents to be like, all right, you can come sit in the living room and watch this. Even though we had such a
Really?
small house that like anytime they were watching a rated R movie, I also watched that R movie.
I watched Saving Private Ryan when I was like 7 years old.
Oh yeah.
The only
Yeah.
my dad, when it got to the part where the guy gets stabbed with the knife or whatever, they're like having the knife fight.
Yeah.
And Upham stands on the stairs and dude, does this still get you?
Yes,
It still
every
gets
t-
me
every
every
time.
time.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
get up the stairs. He needs your help. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
makes my
that
blood
and
boil.
Schindler's List, dude, I cry. Both of them. Fucking
Yeah.
Schindler's List at the very end where he's like, I could have got more, dude.
This
I could have
pen,
got more.
this pen could have been a child.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Sorry,
Dude, and it sucks because like honestly, Schindler's List has some funny bits. There's some funny bits in Schindler's List, dude.
There is.
He's like when he gets arrested. The only reason he gets out is because other Nazis are like, he keeps getting us pussy.
Yeah.
We gotta. This guy's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, we got.
That is that scene where was it Amon Gareth or whatever is sitting down with a head inspector.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
Ralph,
I heard he
Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah, and he's like,
yeah.
I heard he kissed a Jewish girl, and he goes, well, you know, these Jewish girls, they have powers. You know this, right? Like that, they hypnotize a man, and he won't think straight. Like he's just dead face, like, come on, like, come on, he's a cool dude.
Literally,
Like,
so for my film class, I was learning how to use green screen.
yeah,
And it was literally just me like talking into a camera with green screen behind me because we just needed something to like put stuff behind. So I was just doing bits and like bits that like I'll never do it again. So I was talking about Schindler's List and like how the only reason he got to do what he got to do is because he was getting them pussy, and like I inserted that scene
Yeah.
of Ralph. He's literally laughing like the women. There's just so many women.
I mean, there's so many of them,
Yeah, it just-
and they throw themselves at him. It's these you know, these Jew girls. They just they sleep with anyone, and they are magical. Did you know that? Like that, he's just like, you can tell he's just making up propaganda on the spot.
Yeah.
They invade your mind. You can't. You lock eyes on with innocently, and if you don't kill them right away, you know, like that.
They dig tunnels straight to our penises.
He's like, that's so wild, dude.
Yeah.
So there are.
I do cry.
Yeah,
All
that's
that
the
being said,
important
I
part.
do cry at the very end.
There's nothing wrong with laughing so long as you cry a little after.
Yeah.
Same with Homeward Bound. You know, it's. I laugh a little bit at that movie, but I always cry at the end.
I don't watch movies with like where the animals are the main characters.
Why? Oh man.
They're
You've
dying.
have you
Yeah.
never seen Homeward Bound?
I might have a long time.
Oh my
I
gosh,
watched,
it makes me cry every time.
There's a Benji movie where somebody just breaks into the house that they're in and he kills like his girlfriend dog or whatever. Like Benji's
yeah.
got a girlfriend for like 5 minutes and then somebody just breaks in the house and fucking this dog is fucking.
It's John Wick's dog.
Exactly, yeah.
Benji and John Wick. That's what I want the next one to be.
Hell yeah, the
John
dog
Wick
teams up.
5, Benji's Revenge.
I watched that when I was like 5. I was like, what? Like, I just immediately started crying.
Yeah, that'll do it. Did you ever see Mighty Joe Young with the big gorilla?
No.
No, that
No,
was
dude.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Harambe though.
dude. There's several people I know that think Harambe's death is what spiraled us into
Yeah.
like the darkest timeline.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's scientific fact.
I've heard crazier things. Than
Yeah, literally.
What's the best scent combination? I like how we went from best World War II movie to Benji.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dude, Benji makes me cry more than fucking any World War II movie.
I can't. I do cry during some of them,
Marley and Me.
but it's like it's always the ones where I'm like it's something cool has to happen. I'm like, yeah, they fought so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or the end of Band of Brothers or whatever.
oh my god.
Where it's like,
yeah.
my grandchild asked me the other day, Grandpa, were you a hero in the war? And he's like, no, but I fought with a company of heroes. And I'm like, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Oh, my God. Just crying, my eyes out, snot bubbles and everything.
Dude, yeah, anytime it cut to, like, the real guys.
Oh, yeah, and they're talking, they're like, yeah, when we lost Trevor, it was a sure, like that. And you're like, oh, gosh, I miss Trevor.
Yeah.
Like that, you're like, you never knew him.
Oh, my God. What a show.
What a show.
So good.
They really did. Did you see they've come out with a new one? But it's about it's kind of like, so there's Band of Brothers, the Pacific, and now this one's about pilots.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Like in a bomber or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. Because you told me the Pacific wasn't as good as Band of Brothers.
No.
Yeah. So.
No. I mean, it's still good, but it definitely leaves you wanting. Have you ever seen it?
The Pacific?
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched it.
There's a whole episode where they're just hanging out in Australia. Yeah. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
What? And then Iwo Jima is 30 seconds long. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? Why is this important to the story?
Yeah.
You got to tell. If you're going to tell it. But
I get, like, character development. Like, you gotta, like, get them just alone for a little bit. But, yeah, like, the cool, not the cool parts, but, like, the important parts of the story. Like, I feel like,
do flashbacks to their time in him.
Yeah.
Remember that bar in Australia? And then flash, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Sons of bitches.
Right. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But whatever. Best scent combination.
Ooh, shit.
Ooh, child.
I think it might be during, like, fall, like early fall, where it's, like, still warm, but it's a little breeze.
Yeah.
There's, like, a certain smell in the air.
Yeah.
I feel like, or like, I don't know if it's what.
It's like crisp leaves and stuff.
Yeah, and that's going, and then, like, fire.
Yeah.
On top of that, that's like a happy place for me.
I've always said that if I was going to make like a perfume or something, I would want like a warm brown sugar or like a maple.
Yeah.
And then burnt match.
Yeah.
Because I think those two together smell so good.
Dude.
Like sweet with a little bit with a hint of arson.
So
you know?
For me, it's definitely that, and then weed and post fuck smell. That's my stanky bed and a fucking joint. It's the best.
Stank
the smell
by Jack.
It's just me with a shiny tooth. Yeah.
You know that smell you get when the trailer ain't been aired out properly?
You ain't opened the windows. There's a dead possum underneath.
Yeah, it's June. It's humid out. You hear the buzz of a bug zapper out your window. You ain't replaced the air filters in a couple months, so that the smell just stays with you.
Oh, God.
Smells like the underside of a stack of inner tubes. You know when you go on a riverboat trip and you gotta take your pool toys you ain't touched in a year? That smell. Like hot plastic.
You ever go to a water park at the end of the season? They ain't cleaning up no more. It's fucking stuck to the concrete, but you still ride it. All right, you get in that lazy river.
Speaking of concrete lazy rivers, we had this one by my house as a kid that someone had literally just gone to a hill and just dug two like serpentining ditches like that just went up, poured concrete down it, painted it blue, and then dropped two water hoses down, and so it became a water slide. And it was the most dangerous thing you've ever. And he didn't have mats. They told him originally he didn't have mats, so you would just slide down and just get scraped to shit.
Yeah, it's fucking concrete. What I mean?
Yeah, it's concrete, and it's just a water hose at the top. So if you're first thing in the morning, like you're not getting a ton of water. Like you kind of got to help them open up and start splashing things and getting it going. And then after a while, they were like, all right, you have to get mats. So he got the cheapest mats he could find, and all you had to show was that you had a piece of a mat before you could go down. So they could be this big, but you could still go down. And so that's what we would do.
Yeah.
And there was no like, it was the to get to the top, they had just had these concrete like pavers, but we would get super hot in the summer, obviously.
Dude, you're burning your fucking feet.
So then what they decided to do was they right before they closed, they installed sprinklers that would like mist the sidewalk or going up the pavers. But then it made them really slippery. So people kept like sliding and like people wouldn't even get to the top because they were getting injured on the way up. And then the city eventually was like, yeah, you can't do this,
dude,
man. This is insane. There's broken glass in the pool at the bottom of the slides. Like, you can't do this. And it was just a cesspool and like became like a breeding ground for mosquitoes because they didn't treat the water.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right,
this is
okay, man. And it started as a guy just being like, yeah, $5 and you can ride all day. Kids would be like, deal.
Yeah. Fuck, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Dude, Aquaport was a water park right by my house. It was like right off of 270. And it had one of those like the toilet thing.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
the
toilet bowls.
Had a fucking giant slide that went down into it. And literally every time that you did it, once you got to the toilet part, you would fucking smack the back of your head on. Like, you would have to. They would tell you at the top, like, keep your head up. Maybe just don't design it where there's a fucking drop right off the. Yeah. You would just see kids get off the thing and be like, oh my fucking God. And then you're like, that would literally set the tone for the rest of your day at the water park of just like, all right, can I deal with this headache or not? Because ices aren't going to fix it.
What's my mom's phone number?
Yeah.
I think I got to go home now.
I don't know my address to tell you to take. Fuck.
What month is it? There was one of those. My aunt took me to a water park one time that had one of those. And I was a big kid.
Yeah.
So when I would go down, she told me, she was like, when you come out of the tube into the toilet bowl, people were like cheering because you were going so fast. Like, she was like, it was so cool. This is before cell phones. She was like, I wanted to videotape it or like record it. And so we just did it over and over again. And people started like, they'd see me coming and they'd be like, he's going again, like that. And I'm like 12 and I'm like, yeah, cool. Not realizing like I'm just this tubby kid that they want to watch shoot into a toilet bowl, you know?
Fucking.
Dude, so many of my childhood stories end with like a tragedy.
Just fat
like
shame,
and it turns out I was fat.
Yeah. I feel you. That's how especially like my like legit crazy family and shit and like the ugly divorce. Anytime I tell somebody like a childhood story, it always goes from, oh.
The range of emotion. Like,
Oh, your mom was too high to take you to homecoming? Oh. Oh, no. So, yeah, I can't tell those stories too much.
Yeah, like how I asked, what's your favorite football story? And you said, the time I got my left.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, glad this isn't the worst memory podcast.
Yeah. No therapy can fix it, dude. It's too fucking, it's done. Oh, dude. Throw up. Get it out.
You got me, man. That's it. I was not expecting that. Okay. That's an hour 30.
Oh, yeah, what time is it?
Like 4:45.
Oh, shit, yeah. Yeah, we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah. I think Ronaldo might come by to Wright for a little bit.
Yeah, if it's 4:45, I gotta go home and let the dog out. So.
All right.
Chihuahua weenie mix.
All right. Social media shows, plug one more time.
Yeah, Westport Balderdash, March 20th at the St. Louis Funny Bone. You can get in free, promo code JWFunny. We also got the City Winery. We got Chris Troney headlining. That's me and Chris Oliver's show, Wines and Punchlines. It's going to be April 25th. That's a Thursday. Follow my social media. Just started a new Instagram, Jack Wright Comedy. Putting reels and stuff on there and links to all the shows. So please help support.
All right, everybody. That's it. I'll see you next week.